Hello, good morning, my dear students, grade 12, with you, Mrs Soaad, in our online classes in Hussein International School. I hope you will enjoy the session. Okay, let's start grade 12 with continued of our lesson, which is about the derivative. Let's start it together. Okay, be ready. Okay, welcome back for this week. Let's start by our weekly plan, which is today we'll complete the derivatives part 2, and tomorrow we'll have part 3, and on Tuesday we'll have a new lesson which is area of curve and integration. Okay, let's start by this one and start by our objectives of this lesson. By the end of this session, inshallah, you should be able to remember how to find the derivative of a function at any point and the power rule of derivative by checking some of the previous homework. And number 2, we will find the derivative of a function by using constant, multiple of a power, and then find the derivative of a function by using sum or difference. And finally, we will use the extreme value theorem to find the derivative. Let's start by our first objective, and let's remember together what we said the last session to refresh for this lesson. Okay. Here, what is the question? The question is, I want to evaluate the limits to find the derivative of each function, then evaluate the derivative of each function for the given values of each variable. Okay, we have 2 ways for solving this question. The first way, if you remember, it's the longest way. We will use the limit, which is here to find the derivative of this function. What I'm going to do here is, do you remember the rule? It is limit h approaches to 0, and we have f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. And then I will start here at any point, so I don't have a specific value, so I have to evaluate or substitute directly by x plus h and x in the relation that I have. What is the relation that I have here? It is 4x power 2 minus 3. So let's substitute by x plus h, which is the first one in this relation. So what I'm doing here is 4. Of course, every time I will write the limit, okay, 4, and then x squared, I will replace x by x plus h, which will be x plus h all squared minus 3. And then here, minus f of x and f of x, I have the same relation, and just write it as it is, which will be 4x squared minus 3. All of that over h. After that, I will start to solve this one by making the perfect square of this one. So let's write it up here. I have x plus h all squared. I will solve it as a perfect square. So I will have x squared, square for the first, and then 2 times first times second, which will be 2xh, and then plus squaring the second, which is h squared. After that, I will start to multiply all of this expression, which will be 4x squared plus 4 times 2, which is 8xh, and then plus 4h squared. And then I will start here to distribute the negative sign for over this all. So I have minus 4x squared plus 3. Okay? All of that over h. And then I start to, here I have minus 3 is missing. I will start to cancel here. So I have 4x squared can be cancelled with negative 4x squared, and negative 3 was positive 3. Finally, I have the result here. Limit 8xh plus 4h squared. Do you remember the last step? I will take h as the common factor. So I have here 8x plus 4h, and then all over h. So I can cancel h together. And after canceling, I will start to replace h by 0. Because here, all over the limit, I have h approaches to 0. And when I start to double substitute, I will cancel the limit. So I have 8x. And if you replace here h by 0, this will be cancelled. So the final answer will be 8x. And this would be the final answer. But here I have to, finally, after finding the derivative, I have to replace x by 2 and replace x by negative 1. Okay, so starting here, let's make it here. I have to find f, or derivative of 2, and derivative of negative 1. Only what I will do here is just replacing x by 2. So here 8 times 2, I have a 16. And the next one, replace by negative 1. So 8 times negative 1, I have at negative 8. And this will be the final answer of the question. Here is the longest way how to find the derivative. Okay? Please take a screenshot for this one, please. Okay, I will clear now. I give you more 4 questions for this type of questions. I will let you to try to solve it by yourself, and then I will help you by the final answer by the end of the session. If you have time, we'll solve it together. If you don't have time, we can get it the next session. Okay. Now, let's have our second objective for this. These are the questions that I talked about with you. Our second objective of this lesson. Okay, here let's remember the first rule that we have it for the derivative, which if I have, for example, f of x equal 4x squared. Do you remember what we have with this rule? All what I will do is multiplying this number, which is the power, multiply the scalar here, which is would be 8, and I will subtract the power minus 1. So here 2 minus 1, it will be 8x power 1. That's how I can find f dash of x, which is the derivative. Okay, another example. If I have, for example, f of x equals to x power 5, what I'm doing with that, I'm multiplying this 5 by this number, which is 1 here. So to find f dash of x, it will be 5x, and I will subtract the power minus 1, I will have it 5x power 4. That's the first rule that we had it before. Now we'll have the same rule, but if I have more than one term, if I have more than one term, I will do the same steps with every single one. For example, here, if I have only a constant, f of x equals c, for example, if I have f of x here equals to 5, for example, any number, any constant value, what would be the derivative of this function? The derivative, if I don't have x, I just have constant number, the derivative would be equals to 0. This is the first rule, which is the constant. And then, what is the constant multiple of a power? That's the one that I have at the last session. For example, here, if I have a number, as I said here, in this one, I have a scalar multiple before x, and here I have a power. As I told you, I will multiply this power multiply the scalar, and then I subtract the power minus 1, as I told here in this example. Okay? And the last one here, if I have a sum or difference between two functions, if I have a sum or difference between two functions, I will find the derivative of each one, and then I will start to add both of the derivatives finally, like this one. For example, if I have here f of x equals to 4x power 2, for example, plus 3x. What I'm going to do now is here to find the derivative. I will find each one of them. If you calculate this one, multiply 2 times 4, so it will be 8. And then here, if you subtract the power minus 1, so it will be 8x. And here also, here what's the power? This power here seems to be 1. So if I multiply 1 times 3, it will be 3. And if I subtract minus 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. And any number to the power of 0, it is 1. So here 3 times 1, it is 3. Okay, that is simply the rule that we have at this session for the second objective. So let's have more example to understand more how can I solve this one. But please take a screenshot for this page, please, before I will continue. Okay, let's have some examples related to this one. Here, what is the first question? I want to find the derivative. So what is the derivative? I will deal with each term single or individually. So here what I have, the first one is here 5x power 3. What is the rule that we have? The rule is multiplying the scalar, multiply the power. So here 5 times 3, what I have it is 15. Okay, how I can find the derivative? By only one step, by using the rule instead of using the limit, which is the first example that we had today. Okay, so 15x, and then what the next step? I will subtract this power minus 1. So here 3 minus 1, it is 15x power 2. Okay, and then what I have here, I don't have any x, it's constant. And what we said about the constant, any constant, its derivative, it is 0. So here 15x squared plus 0, it will be 15x squared as it is. And that will be the final answer. Okay, is it clear? Okay, let's have one more example. Okay, here I have the second example. What I have here, I have x power 5 multiply 2x power 3 plus 4. Before I start solving here, all my terms should be distributed. So here, before I start solving, I have to distribute this power or this term among all the terms that I have it inside the parentheses. So here, if you remember, in multiplying, we will add the power. So here, if you multiply 2, x power 3 multiply x power 5, if you add here, it will be x power 8. And then here, what I have 4 times x power 5, it will be same for x power 5. Finally, I have our form that I have to use the rule in it. I can now find the derivative, but first of all, I have to make it in the final function that I will have to use the rule in it. So I have to find now the derivative. I can find it easily. How I can find the derivative here? Multiplying the power times the scalar. So here 2 times 8 is 16. And then here 8 minus 1, we have x power 7. Okay, the next one here, 5 times 4, it is 20. And here, if you subtract the power minus 1, you have it 4. And this will be the final answer. I think it's so easy. I'm just using the rule. What is the rule? The rule is multiplying the power times the scalar. Even the scalar is a number or 1. If I don't have a scalar, so it's 1. And then I will subtract the power minus 1, and it's always minus 1. Okay, there is our rule. Okay, let's have one more example. It's not complicated, this one, but always, I told you, I have to have it in the form of terms only. So what I have here, I have it, it's a quotient. So how can I solve it? I have to distribute this x for all the term that I have it here. Okay, so here I have 5x power 3 over x, 12x over x, and 6 root x power 5 also over x. That is first of all. Then I will start to calculate each term individually. So if you see here, x power 3 over x, you know that in the division you subtract the powers. So here 3 minus 1, I have it here, 5x power 2. Let's write it here, please. 5x to the power of 2. And then here, x, 1 minus 1 is 0. Any term or any number to the power of 0 is 1. So this will be cancelled. I just have here 12. Here, what I have here, let's write it here. I have root x to the power of 5. I can't solve it in the form of radical. So I have to convert it in exponential. How to convert it in exponential? If you remember, it is what? In over out. So this will be 5 over 2. I have it as a power now form, so I can't solve it now. Here, the scalar seems to be 1. So if you multiply 5 over 2 times 1, it will be 5 over 2. And here x, I can multiply, I can subtract 5 over 2 minus 1. If you remember before, we say have any fraction, I have it 1. All what I will doing here is the same, 5 over 2. And here I replace 1 by the denominator over each others. Here the denominator is 2, so this will be 2 over 2. So if you subtract it, 5 minus 2 is 3, and the denominator as it is, it will be 3 over 2. Okay, and this will be the final answer. I now have each term in the correct form, so I can use my rule, which is multiplying the power times the scalar. So here, 5 times 2, it is 10. And then subtract the power minus 1. So here 2 minus 1, it is 1. So I don't want to write it, or I don't need to write it. And then here what I have, 12, I don't have any terms. It's just 12, it's just a constant, so it's 0. So here it will be minus 0. Okay, and then here what I have, I multiply 3 over 2 times 6. Let it be here. If I have 6 times 3 over 2, I can here simplify. 6 divided 2 is 3, so 3 times 3, it is 9. So here it will be 9. And then 3 over 2 minus 1, let's do it here also in our draft. So if you subtract 3 over 2 minus 1, I told you what I have to do now is subtracting and replace 1 by the denominator, which is 3 over 2 minus 2 over 2, which is finally will be 1 over 2. So here it will be x to the power of 1 over 2. If you look at the first one, I can write as it is. 0 will be cancelled. X power half, I know if I have, but in the first of all, it's written in the form of radical. So finally, also let's change it or convert it into radical. So here what I have x power half, which is radical x or square root x. So the final answer here, as you see here, what it will be 10x plus 9 root x or radical x. And this will be the final answer for number C. Okay, now please, you can take a screenshot for this one, please. Okay, have you finished? Yes. Okay, now let's have got a practice question, and I need you, please, to help me in solving these questions. Who can help me at the beginning? Okay, now we have Yusuf Fikri. He will help me in solving this question. Come on, Yusuf. What is our rule? Multiplying the power, multiply the scalar. So what it will be? Yusuf?
10.
Yes.
10x.
And what we're doing with the power? I will subtract it minus?
Yeah, -1.
Excellent. So it will be 10x power?
10x power 4.
Yes. The next one?
X power 2.
And before x, what we have? You have to multiply this one here. I have nothing, so it's 3.
It's 3.
3x.
3 minus 1. Oh, all right, yeah.
Yes, okay. Here, I don't have any x, so what this answer will be for the constant? I said before, if I have a constant without any terms, it will be cancelled because it will be 0. So here it's -0. Okay, Fikri?
Okay.
So the final answer, thank you, Fikri, to find the derivative of this one, it will be 10x power 4 minus 3x squared. Thank you, Fikri.
You're welcome.
Thank you, okay. Now let's have another question. Okay, but please take it as a screenshot first. Okay. Who can help me in this one? Okay, now we will have Saif. Awesome. Come on, Saif, how to answer this question? Well, the first step.
We will distribute 3x power 4 as the x and 2.
Perfect. What will be?
3x power 5.
Perfect. Okay. And then?
Plus 6x power 4.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, 6x power 4. Okay. Okay, what's the next step?
We will multiply 5 with 3.
Will be?
15x.
Yes.
Power, we will make 5 minus 1, so it will be 4.
Excellent. Okay. And then?
Then 4 by multiply 6. 24x
24
over 3, because 4
x
minus 1 was 3.
X power 3. Perfect, Saif. Thank you, Saif. Thank you. Now, please take a screenshot for this one. Okay, let's have another question. Who can help me in this one? Okay, now we'll have Nahid. She will help me solving this question. Come on, Nahid. How can I solve it?
First, we'll distribute the x.
Perfect. So I have 4x power 4 over
x.
Minus
x to the power of 2 over x.
Perfect.
Plus 5x over x.
Perfect. Okay. The next step?
We'll minus the x from the exponents.
Which
so
is
it will be 4x to the power of 3.
Perfect. Then?
Minus 3x.
Excellent.
Minus 5. Plus 5.
Plus 5. Excellent. Okay, now we have the form. I can find the derivative of function h. What is the next step?
We'll multiply 3 multiplied by 4. So
Okay.
It'll be 16.
12.
12, I mean, I'm sorry.
Okay.
12x to the power of 2.
Okay. Super.
minus 3x. I guess.
Minus 3. And what I'm gonna do with this x? Here the power seems to be 1. So if you make 1 minus 1, it's power 0. So any number power 0 is 1. So here I don't have x.
Okay, so it'll only be 3.
Okay, and then what about this 5?
It'll be 0.
0, excellent, because it's a constant number. Okay, what would be the final answer?
12x squared
Okay,
minus 3.
perfect. Thank you, Annette.
Well,
Thank you. Okay, please take a screenshot for this one, please. Okay. Thank you all. Okay, now we'll have another example, the same one, but what we have now, it's a problem solving. Instead of giving you a direct question, I'm just giving you in a form of a problem solving. Let's read it together. Here I have the distance per particle moves along a path is defined by s of t equal to t in t minus 3t cubed minus 1. And here I have t is in seconds, and the distance of the particle is given in centimeters. I need to find the expression for the instantaneous velocity of the particle. So if I wanted to find instantaneous velocity, so I can use the rule of the derivative. It's the same as derivative. So here I have the form of the relation is the same. All what I'm doing is just making the rule or apply the rule that I have. So here it's t power 1, 18 minus 1, 18 multiply 1, it is 18. And here t 1 minus 1, it is 0, so it's only 18. And here 3 times 3, the same concept, is minus 9, t to the power of 2. And here 1 is constant, so it's 0. So the final answer will be 18 minus 9t power 2. It is the same concept, but it's in the form of a problem solving. Okay, and this will be the final answer. Okay, now I'll have the second question. It's also the same concept here. Okay, what I'm having now is 55t. Here it's t power 1. I will multiply it, will be 55, and t will be cancelled. And then minus 16 times 2 is 32t. And this will be the final answer to finding the derivative of this expression. Okay. Okay. Please take a screenshot, please, for this one. Okay, and this will be all for today. And we'll complete for part 3, inshallah, the next session. Now, please, let's have our homework. It's not be as a homework, it's just the skills in the IXL that I sent for you. All the usernames and the passwords for all of you, I sent it already for you. You will just here apply what we said in this IXL. Now I will let you with the video of coronavirus. Please watch it together and don't leave.
Nope. Yep. 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 Nope. Yep.